So, how about that direct? I decided to not record my first reaction this time around because I wanted to record this and give a more informed sight on it. So this is just going to be my take on everything that happened in today's direct, and just what I think about it. So the direct opens with Simon getting announced, which I already knew because I saw the leaks, thanks for that Twitter. But it was still really exciting, and the cutscene at the beginning was really cool. I really liked it a lot. We get a quick little demo of how he looks in the game. He looks really cool. Then we get a look at Richter, who is going to be an Echo Fighter of Simon. Pretty appropriate if you ask me. And after that we get to meet the big man himself. Sakurai is here. And we get to see an overview of how Simon is going to be working, it seems. I'm not going to go into too much detail about how I feel about the fighters in this new direct, because I'm probably going to make another video where I actually analyze them and give some early impressions and thoughts on them. But just saying something now, they look extremely interesting, and I really like the way they look and how they seem to play. I'm very excited to see more about them. Then after that we get a look at Dracula's Castle, which is probably not going to be legal, so I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it looks really cool though. From a casual perspective, it looks like a lot of fun. But one thing that is quite interesting is how they said that Dracula would appear on the stage under circumstances that they could not actually tell us, which seems a little suspicious, don't you think? The only way I can look at this is that it can hint at a possible adventure mode, which uses these bosses, and that is what makes them appear. It's just a theory though. Then we're going to look at some assist trophies, which I'm not going to go into too much detail about because it's not really that interesting. Then we get introduced to two more Echo Fighters. First off, Rom finally gets let into the game. And again, I'm not going to go into too much detail about it right now, since I am going to make a video talking about these characters in a little bit more detail later. But hey, I'm really glad Crom is in the game now. He kinda got cheated out of getting into the game in the last time, so it's fun to see that he's here now. Now the second one is Dark Samus, which honestly I don't really know a lot about at all. I actually haven't played any of the Metroid games, which is kind of a crime on my part, I know. But yeah, I know a lot of people are excited about Dark Samus, so that's a really good addition, I have to say. After that we get a little stage montage of all the new and returning stages we're getting this time around. I am very excited to see all of these stages return. The casual side of me certainly do enjoy playing on a variety of different stages. Though a little bit more interesting to the competitive scene is the stage hazard toggling. Now the stage toggling can mean a lot for the competitive scene and what stages we're allowed to play on. Obviously some stages are naturally unplayable because of the way they are laid out. We already knew about the stage hazard toggling from the demo, but it's really great to see that it can be used on every single stage. Only time will tell what stages will be actually legal or not. And after that we get introduced to this weird new thing which can make you swap between stages on the fly. It looks really weird and I highly doubt we're gonna use it in competitive, but it looks like a lot of fun actually. But imagine if we actually use it in competitive though, that would be very interesting. Basically the way that works is that you pick two stages and then the first one transitions into the second one after a certain amount of time has passed. After that, there's a little bit of music stuff, which I'm really excited for. I love music, especially Smash music. You can now have any song from the game you're playing on the stage if it's appropriate. Though sadly it doesn't look like you can put stage music on other stages from different franchises. So sadly, we're gonna be stuck with Animal Crossing music on Smashville and Town and City. Oh well. I mean, Animal Crossing music isn't bad, but after having heard it for like 4 years straight, it's gotten a little grating. But I'm really excited to see all the returning music and new songs as well. After that, there's just a little bit more information about different game modes, which is pretty interesting. I've always really liked Stamina Smash personally, it's one of my favorite casual formats. So it being expanded upon looks a lot of fun actually, I can't wait to try it out. Then there's of course the sudden death thing we already knew about from the demo, it's not really anything new. But something that really was quite interesting was the final Smash meter. So during normal gameplay, you will actually charge a Smash meter. And when it's full, you can actually use a Final Smash. Granted, it's a weaker version of the Final Smash, but that's still very strong it seems. I highly doubt we're going to be using this for normal competitive gameplay, but it looks like fun anyways. Then there's even more game modes, which basically shows off what is a crew battle mode and a tournament mode. And then there is the Smashdown function, which is basically an Iron Man function for multiple people, I guess. I'm sure you can play it single player as well, and it would work the same. And then there is the new training mode, which looks very promising. The old training modes in Smash 4 and earlier games were very lacking in my opinion, and were overall just bad. But in this game, it looks like they did a lot to try to fix that. You're playing on a brand new stage, which has a background that is better for measuring distance and stuff, as well as you get these arcs that actually show how far you got launched, and the different angles at which you can get launched, which is probably going to help a lot. Now, the only thing I really want them to do besides that is so that you can decide what direction the opponent dies in. But aside from this looks like a huge step up from the Smash 4 training mode. I'm really excited for it. After that, we get a look at some Pokeballs, some new items, some assist trophies, and stuff like that. Nothing I want to go into that much detail about, but it looks fun. But what is interesting is that they actually added Rathalos as an assist trophy, but also as a boss. Again, what do bosses do? They don't want to tell us yet. I wonder why. And then we get a look at the menu screen, which looks very clean. I do like how it looks. There's this little option down here that they have decided to blur out, something that they're probably gonna save for a different direct. I can only suspect that this is the adventure mode or the single player mode that we so desperately want. Again, tying into the bosses from the earlier sections of the direct, I can only imagine this is what they're trying to hide. Which again would be really cool. And then finally, in classic Nintendo fashion, there's always one little message before we leave. And I wouldn't exactly call it a little message, to be honest. That being that King.K.Rool is now finally in the game. Again, I'm going to make a little bit more of an analysis thing later on, just giving my thoughts and first impressions on him. But I gotta say, he looks very interesting. He's obviously going to be a heavyweight character, so that's always interesting. He seems to be much more projectile-based than other types of heavyweights, so at least that's a pretty interesting angle to take on it. Again, more on that in a later video. But that was pretty much the whole direct. I gotta say I was pretty impressed by the whole thing. A lot of really good reveals and overall a lot of really interesting and fun new things. I honestly can't wait until Smash Ultimate gets released, and that is only amplifying that want for the game. But yeah, expect some character analysis on the newly revealed characters. It's not going to be as in-depth as the other characters, but I'm going to do my best to be as thorough as possible. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my thoughts on this Nintendo Direct. I'll see you later. Also, I want to point out that Luigi literally got scared to death and died in this Direct. That is a thing that happened.